Welcome back. In this video, we will be discussing how to write chemical equations. Chemical changes, also referred to as chemical reactions, involve the reorganization of atoms in one or more substances, resulting in the formation of one or more new substances with different properties and compositions. Chemical reactions are represented as chemical equations, which show the relative numbers of reactants and products. Reactants are substances that you have before you start a chemical reaction, and they are shown on the left side of the reaction arrow in a chemical equation. Products are substances formed during a chemical reaction and are shown on the right side of the reaction arrow in a chemical equation. The chemical equation for a reaction consists of the identity of the reactants and products and the relative numbers of each. The identity of the reactants and products includes both their chemical formulas and their physical states during the specified chemical reaction. We have previously learned that matter exists in three physical states: in a solid, as a liquid, and as a gas. In many instances, reactions occur between substances that are dissolved in water. These substances are part of an aqueous solution and must therefore be designated as such using AQ in the chemical equation. For example, a reaction between solid sodium hydrogen carbonate and an aqueous solution of hydrochloric acid results in the production of gaseous carbon dioxide, liquid water, and an aqueous solution of sodium chloride. The relative numbers of each reactant and product in a chemical reaction are represented by stoichiometric coefficients in the balanced chemical equation. The coefficients of each reactant and product ensure that the number of atoms of each element exists equally on both sides of the reaction arrow. Remember, the law of conservation of mass states that mass, and therefore matter, is neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. The number of atoms of each element that exists at the beginning of a chemical reaction as reactants must also exist at the completion of the chemical reaction as products. Even though atoms are reorganized and bonded in different arrangements during the course of a chemical reaction to form the products, the number of atoms of each element remains constant. In the following balanced chemical equation, methane gas reacts with diatomic oxygen gas to produce gaseous carbon dioxide and water vapor. The information in the chemical reaction denotes the proper coefficient for each reactant and product so that there are equal numbers of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms on each side of the reaction arrow. When no number appears before a reactant or product, it is understood that the coefficient value is 1. It is redundant to write the number 1, so this is never done. Any coefficients with values greater than 1 are expressly written. Generally speaking, coefficients are written as whole integer numbers. There will be occasions where you see a fraction such as 1/2 used as a coefficient. Normally this is done to reduce the overall magnitude of the coefficients while continuing to observe the law of conservation of mass. Now that you understand the parts of a chemical equation, you will learn in the next video how to write them out using their chemical names and balance them with the proper coefficients.